ta 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 ta.
Airplanes. We have lived and grown up knowing that at any moment we can go somewhere else, learn about other cultures, visit family and friends. Airplanes have modified our way of sending mail, carrying load, traveling, and have even influenced literature. However, airplanes are not only beneficial, but also disadvantages. For example, they create pollution and even wars. With these inventions, people can throw bombs and kill thousands of people in a second before anyone notices what's happening. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, lived in Dayton, Ohio, where they had their own little bike shop, and they would fix bikes and create their own designs. However, they always kept up with the scientific research, especially the one of the German aviator Otto Lilienthal. When Otto died in a glider crash, the Wright brothers decided to create their own successful design, and so they did. The Wright brothers moved to North Carolina because of the strong winds. They observed that if they really wanted to fly, they had to copy the birds. So they took the idea of balance and control and created the concept of wing warping. When they truly achieved stable wings and were able to fly, it was the 17th of December, 1903. They traveled for 259 meters in 59 seconds. Although there were other airplanes that were invented before then, the Wright brothers did the first airplane that was able to move alone with motors and a pilot controlling it. But when they truly achieved a great flight was October 5th in 1905. They flew for 59 kilometers, for 34 kilometers in 59 seconds. Before the 1900s, people used steamships to get around, and their trips lasted about 6 months. When nowadays, thanks to the airplanes, they last maximum about 13 hours. The first commercial passenger airline appeared in 1914, where the St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line took passengers from St. Petersburg to Tampa. Traveled to meet people. They sometimes sent mail. And for this, people went by ships and then sometimes had to go by horse to get to their destination. This would last months. But when the first airmail service appeared in 1911, the mail arrived in about a week. And while they improved the airplane, the system improved too. The same thing happened with the cargo. They used to take things for trading or moving by ships. But once the cargo aircrafts appeared in 1910, this became much easier and efficient. These systems have had an enormous impact economically because it is something people need. And with these basic necessities, you can get a lot of money out of it.
I didn't see you there. The Wright brothers would have never imagined the impact the invention had on society today and how improved their little and simple plane would become. I believe that they would be immensely proud. If you think about it, many things would have not ever been possible without the aircraft. Think of space travel, for example. That thought would have not even crossed our minds if air travel wouldn't have happened. Yeah, thanks.
Cargo planes, airmail, warplanes, they all have one thing in common: planes. They are all used for one thing or another, but they are all developed from the same small aircraft created by Wright brothers. If we think beyond traveling and wars, planes were also used in literature. The first airmail service was created in 1911 and had the use of the liver mail. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry was one of the famous pilots who used these types of plane, and he was inspired in his job to create some stories such as The Aviator. In 1935, he crashed into the Sahara Desert and he almost died there. That story inspired him to write Wind, Sun and Stars, and after, The Little Prince. Without the creation of the plane, he couldn't have wrote these stories.
The art of winged death, they call it. It did help in the war, making easier to fight. This way, there were not so many deaths on one side. But on the other side where the bomb was dropped, oh, it wasn't a scene you wanted to see. However, airplanes have also had an impact in the environment and not only in the
Communities.
However, airplanes have not only had an impact on the
Communities! Communities! ¡No son comunistas!
Planes have not only had an impact on the community, but also in the environment. Planes are like cars and they burn fuels. These fuels made an exhaust called a pollutant, and these pollutants kill approximately about 10,000 people a year, mostly of cardiovascular and respiratory diseases such as lung cancer. Airplanes also affect the global warming, that is now the most pressing issue today. They emit a massive amount of CO2 and the greenhouse effect and the greenhouse gas. That makes it worse. We also so airplanes do not only hurt directly but also indirectly the environment.
Airplanes have improved and have become this incredible machine that almost nobody knows how it works. But it's not just a machine. It's basically one of the most important parts of globalization. As planes could carry people from one city to another, and later from one country to another, they have a huge impact in globalization. People could see the different products, ideas, etc. from other cultures in a faster way than in ships or horses. Some years after, when the cargo plane was created, there was a new and efficient way to achieve globalization.
Drawback is that ship.
The only drawback is that ships could carry more products by in a longer amount of time. Also, with this exchange of products, diseases are more easily spread in the cargo. Is not taken care of.
Yes.
The cargo is not taken care of. Because
if.
venga, otra vez. The only drawback?
The only drawback The only drawback
Ya.
The only drawback y es el único drawback.
A ver, ya.
The only drawback is that ships could carry more products but in a longer amount of time. Also, with this exchange of products, diseases are easily spread if the cargo is not taken care of. This is one of the problems that we have to face many years since the plane was invented. Additionally, a great impact made by airplanes were jobs. They created thousands of jobs. Creation, maintenance, assistance, pilots, and so many more. They opened another area of studies, which is now
Starting to be popular.
It's starting to something popular. A question many people ask me is how the war airplanes impact society. I'm not a pilot, but From what history has shown me in my United States Air Force career under Airbus, is that airplanes took a lot of war out of the trenches to the air campaigns, starting as early as World War I and dominated by the USAF from World War II to today. Unfortunately, that evolution brought more and more sophistication to weaponry that could be deployed from the air. I think it desensitized the American public to the horrors of what was actually occurring. For instance, it showed not one news of napalm being dropped and the horror of that kind of weapon. I was involved in the Gulf War, and the USAF dominated the skies over Iraq. In Operation Enduring Freedom, I flew missions out of San Diego Garcia against strike missions in Afghanistan. We had not a worry, as in-flight refueling tankers, they were no threats. I mean, we had no worries whatsoever. Circa to today, headlines and now slowly drones are replacing the pilot in the cockpit to reduce air casualties. About the short-term consequence of the airplanes and its pilot, well, as far as I know, after World War II, the vast majority of pilots returning from the war became the main source of pilots for the industrial airlines, which was really good for the companies. And the long-term consequences, well, to this day, I believe the airlines continually look forward the military for a source of pilots. This is due in part because the pilots are already trained in the armed forces, USAF, USN, USMC, USA.
Jobs, traveling, mail, cargo, pollution, wars, globalization. These impacts have created the society of today, and they have helped us advance and helped us see that there's no such thing as the impossible. Before Wilbur and Orville had created this invention, the mere idea of flying was out of reach, and no one dared to reach out until they did. When we see an airplane, we shouldn't see a machine. We should see something full of unknown wonders, something that changed the world completely. Hola!
Ya está, vamos a empezar a grabar.